Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It's a deal for local students. Earn credits at Fox Valley Technical College, then use those credits to transfer to a degree program. FVTC just expanded this to 2 more schools.
Those are UW-Milwaukee and UW-Stevens Point education leaders trying to make this a seamless transition, giving students more opportunities for higher learning. In a First Alert update, Samantha Cavalli telling us how it gives students flexibility to figure out what they want to study.
Over 400 students are enrolled in the Transfer Associate program, allowing students to pursue bachelor's degrees at a 4-year college after attending Fox Valley Tech. I spoke with 2 students today who say this was the right decision. Inside this chemistry classroom, creating the right formula can be a challenge. For Isaac Stumpris, the right formula for becoming a history teacher was taking his science requirement at FVTC.
You can spend a little less money, save a little more money, and still get a quality education.
Isaac enrolled in the transfer degree program to be able to attend UW-Oshkosh to earn his bachelor's degree in history. Stumpris says FVTC was the answer to all his problems.
The cost being right here, giving me the classes that I want to take to set me up for the future, it had everything I was looking for at that moment.
On Tuesday, the college expanding its program to allow students to transfer to UW-Milwaukee or UW-Stevens Point. This as more students are looking to start their academic careers at Fox Valley Tech before moving on to a 4-year school.
Getting all my gen eds done at one time and not kind of spreading them out through 4 years was a big factor for me.
Emma Goodman is also on the path to transfer to UW-Oshkosh, wanting to become a medical malpractice lawyer. Freshman year, Goodman says she didn't know what to study. The transfer degree program offered her the flexibility to figure out what she wanted to do.
If you're fresh out of high school, it's a perfect happy medium, so you get that college experience, but it's also resembles high school, smaller class sizes, definitely way less overwhelming. It really made all the difference.
In February, Fox Valley Tech signed an agreement with Ripon College to allow students pursuing a bachelor's degree to transfer there as well. Coming up tonight at 6, hear why all these transfer options are bringing more interest to the college. Reporting in Appleton, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.